Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jones, coming to you live through the powers of the internet. I am a 15-year Pokemon trading card game veteran, and the purpose of my streams is to help you be a little bit better by the time you get done watching, whether it's for a couple of games or whether it's or the entire stream. Again, my whole purpose is to make you better than when I found you. So tonight, going to be preparing for another double cup weekend. This past one didn't go as planned. Life kind of got in the way and just dealing with some allergies. Couldn't really play, and I was like, I don't want to go and spend like a ton of money because cups are getting more and more expensive and perform poorly if I'm not feeling well. And like I'm still getting over it right now, so I don't know how optimal I'm going to be playing tonight, but we'll see. But at the same time, too, in the adulting world, school's coming to a close for the semester. Got a lot to be thankful for. Got a lot to reflect on. So I'll definitely be bouncing around from things like that. So if you know, anybody wants to talk that, anybody wants to talk school, you know the MO, you know the drill. Drop the deck lists in the chat. Drop the topics in the chat. We'll talk about it. We'll discuss it. And yeah, we'll go from there. Yeah. Trying to post something to the other socials and then I'll go get started. I'm in a weird spot this week. Like, normally I'm pretty confident about what deck I want to play. But this week though, it's crazy. Like it's kind of crazy. Like this weekend, like I find myself like not knowing what to play and not knowing how to go into this. But it's like one of these things of like, Jones, like you've been doing this forever. Like go in, read the meta, make a decision, and go from there. Hold on a second. Yeah, so all right, Sabri's saying bringing back the Kangaskong Absol box. Honestly, I don't like that one. Like I really don't. And it's not, for a lack of trying. The reason I just don't like it, and I think a lot of it too is just where is it? Yeah, so like my reasoning for it is like it's just so meh. Like it's just a preference thing. But then it's like, wait, with you've been playing Kangaskones like almost every night on string. Um, but then it's just like I'll go and I'll play Tord Box or something, and it's just like, you're like, oh, what's the difference? It's just I think it's because this, as opposed to the other thing, is just so much more maniacal. Yeah. Um, I think that's kind of the thing with it um, is that it is very maniacal. So I would play that. But I mean, I think and then here's the other part of it too, is like with the Kangaskong Absol box, it's not a deck you just easily pick up and play. Like, and that's like with it. I mean, I know that's like with anything too, but like with any kind of deck, there's methods to this madness, and the average player, if they haven't put the time in, is going to just not be able to understand that. Exactly. I'm more entertaining than Call of Duty, guys. You should know that. Like this is a given fact that I am way more entertaining than Call of Duty. I mean, not only that too, like it's a perfect excuse to sit here and rant about the end of the first semester. So like if you want to sit there and do that, like be my guest. Play Hello Kitty and Island Adventure. How about you stop talking? No. I'll tell you what. I'll play Hello Kitty Island Adventure Dash if you buy it for me. If you buy it for me, I'll play it on stream. I'm not spending my own money on that. Attaboy. Yeah. Yeah, so but yeah, going back to what I was saying, like my wife got it though. Yeah. Somebody's got to play it, but it's not me. Yeah, so like I'm kind of there. Like I'm just going back to what I was saying. Like I just really don't know. I could just mess around and just play Terrabox, Counter-Strike stream win. Honestly, what I was thinking about probably playing one night, and it's the only reason I've got this on there is I've got it. Um, I've got Lost Planet. It was a Xbox 360 title on my laptop. I was thinking about playing that because I had it as a kid and it was pretty good. But I got that. I've also got the first Final Fantasy that I think would be fun to play through too. And then I've also got the hookup stuff to start doing like Destiny 2 and Digimon Time Stranger for my Xbox, but I've got to play around with that. But Christmas break coming up, I think that'd be a good time to figure it out. The day you play Yu-Gi-Oh! Hell's Frozen Over, it definitely has. Like, that would be more notorious than John Cena turning heel. That'd be more notorious than Stone Cold Steve Austin turning heel. Mr. Jones playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Would be the greatest heel turn of the 21st century, or I don't know, whatever century, yeah, 21st century, yeah. It definitely would be bad. I would expect people to put a wellness check on me is exactly what it is. So I would do that. But anyways, yeah, back to that. Um, there's a part of me that's just like, just play Terrabox. I can't even imagine you as a Yugi player. Oh my God. I mean, I can't even imagine me as a Pokemon player some days, which is like how obnoxious some people are and just how sensitive like the Pokemon community is. Like, God, there's too much estrogen in the scene. Too much estrogen in the stream. He would have the Yu-Gi-Oh stink. I wouldn't have the Yu-Gi-Oh stink. I just think it would just be this thing of like I'm just perpetually annoyed more so than I already am. And I'd probably be even more annoyed because I couldn't even play a game because the game would be over in one turn. Um, it's kind of like the whole thing with like what Ron Swanson says when he's like, I work with a lot of women, and that's including the men. Are break cards rare? I think that depends what you define as rare. They were kind of like break cards were the equivalent, I would say now, of like an illustration rare. They don't they don't print them anymore. Like they haven't been printed since the XY sets. More specifically, 2015, 2016 season. So this is like when all the breaks came. So when it started in Breakthrough and it went all the way to Steam Siege. Actually, no, it went all the way to Evolutions. So, and these things, like, they were cool. And some of these I just don't have. Like, these, they were a cool gimmick, but it was poorly executed. So, like, let me see if I can find, like, because there was a, like, so, like, Raichu Break. Like, you would never play this back in the day. Um, three energy, electric, two colorless, did 170. You discard all the energy. Like 170 wasn't doing anything to anybody at the time. Um, Nor would you be able to pull that off fast enough. Like it just wasn't happening. When you especially had things like this running around, or you had, where is it? You know, you had Raikou running around where like it reduced damage, or you had, oh wait, that's an older set. And then you had things like Mega Manectric and Night March that were just like way more powerful. But Zoroark Break was one that got played. This one was really cool. Like you would play it, and the way you would play the breaks is you would play them just on top of the cards. So like I would go from a Zora to a Zoroark, and then I would just lay this on top of my Zoroark. And the cool thing about breaks is you could use the attacks of everything before it, and you could use this attack. So it was kind of cool. And you would use this foul play attack. It would come in pretty handy. We played it in a deck with Eviltal and some other guy in Gallade. It was pretty neat. So you play with that, but then there was like stuff like this, like Florges that just never got used. The most famous break, going through my old binder to see if I can find one. Yeah, definitely do it. They're not really expensive, but they could get you a scoop of custard at Culver's. And when I say that, like, don't go to Culver's and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna trade you this card for some ice cream." Don't do that. But if you sold it, you probably could get some ice cream with it. But like, anyways, with my history lesson, um, the most famous break, or one of the most famous breaks, because there was only two that ever actually really got popular. It was this guy. It was Greninja Break. You had the giant water shuriken, and you would discard an energy, and you would put 6 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. And it's stacked. So like if you had multiple Greninja breaks, like you would put 120 on the board pretty easily. The other one that was also really popular at the time was Trevenant Break. All right. And Trevenant Break we would play on top of the Trevenant from X and Y base that did item lock. So this guy would spread damage. You know, it's just put 3 damage counters on each of your opponent's Pokemon. So we would do that, and then we would play it with this guy, wherever it's at. This guy. Yeah, well, that's not it. This thing's all out of whack. You'd play it with this. You'd play it with this. As long as this guy's in the active spot, opponent can't play item cards from his or her hand. And then you do Tree Slam. So spread counters in between every turn you get. Tree Slam, Snipe, and it was pretty nasty. Oh, I absolutely agree. Wits is 100% better, but I am speaking to a national and global audience. So, you know, somebody in like Alabama's gonna be like, "What's a Wits?" Well, for the record, it's like a small frozen custard chain that's very delicious. But yeah, break cards, they're not bad. Anyways, back to the topic at hand. Um, yeah, I'm kind of just stuck. I'm kind of just stuck. Like, I'm gonna use locals tomorrow night as kind of a measuring stick. And like the first one, it's in my own backyard. It's in my own local shop. So it's like I have a Japanese butterfly. Oh, you mean a Japanese butterfree? Yeah, Japanese butterfree would be pretty cool. Yeah, Japanese butterfree would be pretty cool. Need to come up with a new Charizard list, but keep debating which way to take it. Bounce some ideas, Dash, about which way you want to take it. We can build that. I can do that. I think that would actually get me thinking about some things, because Charizard's something I'm thinking about too. Um, I know there's going to be one guy, like I said last night, there's going to be one guy who's playing Donzard, but I don't think Donzard is the way to play Charizard. Like, I just don't think it's the proper way to play it. It's too linear, and there's too many people, myself included, that think the guy just had like a little generational run, and that's why he won. Yeah, Noctowl Break's not bad either. Noctowl Break isn't bad either. Um, yo, I've played Grim Allen. That's another thing too. I was talking to somebody today. I just popped into the card shop before I went to the house and was like talking, and they're like, "Oh, Grimmsnarl seems like it's pretty good." And then it started making me think about like, can I do something with Grimmsnarl? But the thing with it though, the thing with like Grimmsnarl is like, there's all of these like mega Kangaskhan decks that it just wrecks. Also, the Lopunny match isn't very good either. Yeah, Grimmsnarl. I mean, it scares a lot of people. Like Grimmsnarl is the kind of deck that like punishes people. And the cool thing about this deck is it's very skill expressive. So I can basically outplay people with this, whereas like other decks I can't. So yeah. Let's see, Ringley says, I also have a promo card for the Detective Pikachu still in a wrapper, and if I get it graded, it's probably perfect condition. Um, man, I thought so, but like sometimes you'd be surprised that those things aren't as in good of condition as you think they are. There are services that can like estimate like what your grade would be on it, but you're better off just keeping that thing sealed, honestly. If you were asking for like advice. Yeah, and then again too, there are too many big beefy basics. I feel like I'm back in the 2010s all over again. And Pokemon will do that. Like they get crazy every once in a while. They're like, "Yo, we're gonna make all these big basic Pokemon." Pikachu Libre, that's pretty cool. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna play some Grim, and things are already looking grim. Love that. I don't even know if we're going for just a second. Yep, that's what we're gonna do. That is what we're gonna do. Oh, playing Greninja. Greninja, Pidgeot, and they're gonna play Dusknoir. They're going first. So that actually kind of works out for us. We can definitely TM Evo. But the thing about this deck is um, they play this thing called Grand Tree, and it like instantly evolves their Pokemon. Wow, I know where all of my guys are. Like that was rough. That's even more rough. Oh my goodness. We are off to such a great start tonight. Ugh. Not looking good. Not looking good at all. Oh, it's signed in Japanese. Latias. Yeah, that's a pre-made. It's it's not like it's an actual signature, but it's like printed on the card. It's not like the person like personally like autographed your card only. Yeah, this starts gross. Like I knew we were messed up like just seeing like that one there. But the weird thing though about those the weird thing about those like world championship cards is like some of them are actually valuable. Oh man, we're off to the races. You still get a prize. All right, there's a dark energy. It's like one of those things of like, do I even bother with? Well, I think I have to bother with Frostlass. You still haven't collected your tax. What do you mean by that? Yeah, now I get all the energy in the world. Putting the Fez down is gonna be kind of dangerous. Well, at least I don't have that. And I have a stretcher prized. Love that for me. I guess I can put the Fez down. I don't want to, but alright, I just gotta survive now. And then Buddy Buddy Poffin being prized too doesn't help either. It's crazy, like I play that one copy and then it's I found another break, Starmie Break. Um no, it wasn't good. Your waifu tax. Um I can't really comment on that. Like that's on you. Yeah, that's always really fun. Like I always encourage people like check your old binders, check your bulk because a lot of the times like people miss out on like expensive cards that they forget are in there. All right, so it's 4 piece. Oh, there's the poffin I needed. He played a supporter, didn't he? Yeah. So it could be anything at this point. Oh, that's rough. Yeah, the Rainbow Art Cresselia GX. I don't ever remember there being a Cresselia GX. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was fake. Alrighty. Don't need to play the secret box. Alright, that'll work out pretty good. I think I go for the Devo play here. I think that's also a possibility. Yeah, there is something satisfying about ripping fake cards. It feels like you're righting a wrong. Hmm. No, that beats that. That beats that. Yeah, I got too far behind too quick. Dang. Ooh, that was rough. They just had the nuts. It's whatever. Yeah. Yeah, definitely not feeling that. And I wouldn't play that on Saturday because I know there's probably at least going to be 3 Venusaur decks there. And I don't want to play that with like that many like Venusaur decks being there. And there's part of me that's like, hey, let's play Guardy. But pretty hesitant about that too. Pikachu Mega Sableye. Like it's in the poncho, like in a Mega Sableye poncho. No, I don't. I've never owned that card. I'm just losing all the flips tonight. Oh, we're playing against that deck. Okay. Um, here, here. So we're playing against the exploding Kangaskhan, um, Kangaskhan deck. So knowing where my... It doesn't really matter at this point. So knowing where my non-EX Pokemon are is going to be huge as the game goes on. Yes, we want that. We know that's there. Both of the Curlios are there. TM Evos, both there. Seems like a fairly decent. I am missing a Dark Energy though, but it's a fairly decent setup. Yeah, if you want to send, yeah. Force of Vitality, alright. Interesting. Alright. Definitely don't want both my Gardevoirs in hand like that. Just do that and see what happens. I'll do that for the next game. I'll definitely do that for the next game. I've done it sometimes, but it's just like people, just not enough participation. Like I'll put them up there, and yeah. But no, I'll do one for the next game. So I get 2 prizes off of this. It's not bad. It's not great. So then one of these cards has to be a counter catcher, or they're going to try to... Yep, called it. Jesus, every single time. It's like, maybe did I speak that into existence? Hmm. Do that. Play this. Grab that. Then grab this. This will go here. This will go there. Thinking pretty good on that. A chord. Do this and make them have to try to flip 2 heads. Okay, that's not too bad. I'm gonna go Evo. Then we're gonna go here, we're gonna go there. Now the ideal situation would be as if I top deck an Ultra Ball next turn. Loving the emotes in the chat. Appreciate that, guys. Really appreciate that. Are the big cards rare? It depends on how old they are. It depends on it, because I've got some that are actually like... They're not in the best condition because I'm an idiot, but I've got some that are pretty rare. But yeah, no, there's a lot of them that just get mass-produced these days. So it's just hard to find. But then the other part of it too, it's like there are some people that just like, to them, like, you know, that is their chase cards, is they collect the big cards. And, you know, for some people, it's a pretty big deal. But most people don't care about the jumbo cards. Although there was a guy that did play, like, he showed up to U.S. Nationals one year with a deck of 60 cards, and it was like all jumbo cards. They instantly, like, banned him. Like, they kicked him out of the tournament. They're like, you don't have a legal deck. Get out of here. So, let's see. This Cypher Maniac's probably going to be a counter catcher. It's going to be a counter catcher into something else. Yeah. First time chat from Shit on Sinks. I got for like $4 the 2 Terra Umbreons and Espeons, the full art white background. Nice. And cards are usually more expensive here in Brazil. Nice. Oh man, awesome having a first time chatter from Brazil. Yeah. That's cool, yeah. Knew it was the counter catcher. Knew the counter catcher was coming. Knew they were going to do that. This is why I put the charm on it. Now we're going to make him try to hit 2 heads. Like, it's so laughable at this point. Oh my goodness. Like, it's like, oh my god, like I can call it to a T, like just down to a T of what's gonna happen. uh they tried to make hedging a thing, but it was an utter failure, yeah. No, I would do this, I guarantee you for a fact, like I would try to do the same thing with the exact deck and I would go tails every single time. Just, I don't know. Alright, let's see what happens here. Yeah, I heard about it. Yeah, I heard about it. sad to hear that about him, but kind of glad that I don't have to hear about the Chiefs in the playoffs. Try to make a hit. You're not going to need that if I keep just, like, taking knockouts here, buddy. Watch him end up getting another ice cream cone off of this Iono. Alright, so we got that. So I know where my other guy's at. I don't want to put the Pheasantipity down. So there's that. Now they're going to sit here and just dilly-dally around. You know, it'd really make me happy, my guy, like if you just, like, knocked me out. Alright. Daymaker. Love that for me. Alright. So, no more Pheasantipity on the board. I'm gonna need, like, a miracle here. That's a good miracle. Grab that. Then we'll go stretcher and grab this guy. We're gonna bring him back. Okay, now I'm starting to get somewhere with this. Right, so we already used both the stretchers, so I'm gonna have to That was stupid. I don't know why I did that. Well, actually, yeah, I do. So this is what Bob Ross would call a happy accident. What I meant to do was Adrenabrain, but then it kind of works out this way, and well, that was kind of dumb too. Because if I had a charm, I would have been able to do it. Alright. I guess my guy's really trying to go for the, not be confused aspect of this. Run errands. Maybe you don't run errands for a boss. I really appreciate that. Whiff. Don't you pull nothing. You must have pulled something. Cypher Maniacs code breaking. So that means I've got to do something this turn. Because whatever they're grabbing there, that's probably like a boss and an ice cream cone. So it's going to be interesting to see how I play this out. The first thing I'm going to need to do is definitely play the Iono. That's the first thing I'm going to have to do. Let's see what they do next. Well, they're going to knock this out. That's a start. The question's going to be is if I can, like, win this in one turn. Because that's what I'm going to have to do. Like, I'm going to have to win this in one turn. Like, there's no if, ands, or buts about it. Okay. It is a start. Just gonna grab these three and see what happens here. Okay. There's nothing prized. I didn't pull anything. It's another game where I just couldn't close out. Just cheesing. Rough. Well, it's another thing like this where I'm like, you know what? At least I'm just getting the suck out for the week. That's the way I'm looking at it. Not having the charm hurt. Not having the charm hurt. Yeah, there really wasn't a whole lot I could do there. I just got way too far behind. Appreciate the reminder. All right, let's see. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I'll do it from my phone. All right, there we go. Poll is up in chat. Poll is up in chat, guys. All right. Will I finally win a game? Yes or no? All right, let's see. And the Mew is prized too. That was the other thing. Mew was prized. Couldn't hit Rod. Like, I didn't even see a support. I hardly saw a supporter like the entire game. That's crazy. This is crazy. I don't know. I feel like I need, like, this deck needs more gust, though. Like, but I love and I hate Clef at the same time. Like, you could play Cleffa and add, like, a second boss or, like, a second counter catcher. I don't know. I'll play another one with Guardy. Alright, we're gonna try. Let's just see what happens here. Let's see what happens. Alright, I got one vote. 1,000. I'll go first. So if they're going first, they're probably playing... You might lose your points. This doesn't look good. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Simple. Just don't attack the guy. Alright, so we're going to see what happens here. Now, if I could just survive, if I can survive this turn and we can rare candy into Gardevoir, we'll be doing pretty well. But that's gonna definitely require some living. Alright, Mountain Ramming? Yeah, that's the name of that card. Juggernaut Horn. Cool. Alright, so we're gonna bring up Drifloon. I'll finally get my first energy in the discard pile. Oh joy. Rare candy to Gardevoir. Yeah, as much as I don't want to, I'm gonna have to do this. Try to see some more cards. We're gonna have to pocket the Curlia. Okay, so this is working. This is working. All right, we'll do this. I still got another Curlia. Let's go ahead and toss this. Get a monk. Play this research. And I don't hit anything. Wow. Okay. It's 100 in your last turn. Does that much more damage? So it's only going to be like... I mean, you can check down, but I don't want to give it up. I mean, I can just, like, next turn just come through and, like, smack it with Gardevoir if I need to. So it's going to do 280. They can check down. Expert Hider. Alright, we're definitely going to have to be throwing some Mountain Ramming. Alright. Like, just the RNG is just not in my favor tonight. Like, ugh. Alright, you know what? Maybe it is, after all. So we're gonna go Artisan. I'll grab another Monk. And we'll see 8 cards. And I'll see 8 cards, but none of those 8 cards are, well... You would think with like how many Ultra Ball I play in here, like I would be able to see something, but that is a lie. He damage is done to this guy. My attacks. Alright. Do this. I'm gonna retreat that. Alright, now, I know I've got the knockout on the Mega Heracross, so there's no point to put damage there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start putting it here just so I can get rid of that, because that's, like, Adrenabrain's going to be the only way I'm going to beat Kecleon without having to deal with a coin flip. That's 120, that's 300, I don't need to do that. Alright, so there we go. 300. I'll take the 3 prizes. Take all the even numbers this time. Alright, that's kind of what I want to see. Ultra Ball with 3 Psychic Energy in hand. Here's to hoping they don't have an Iono. Here's also to hoping that I don't speak that into existence either. This guy's attack. This 31 of your opponent's Pokemon. It's literally just a wall. I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. Like, the thing just gets bodied by, like, Dusknoir, or, like, gets bodied by, like, Dusknoir and Dragapult and things like that. In this case here, Adrenabrain. So the play this turn is going to be to... we're going to put down Screamtail. We're going to promote Gardevoir. And then we're going to... Electric Energy, what is he doing with that? Is this guy playing Pikachu? Is he seriously playing Pikachu EX? Okay, so there's a Teal Mask here. Okay, so that's interesting. We gotta get this guy down. Shuckle could be a problem. Search for 2 item cards, put them in your hand, shuffle your deck, turn ins. Box order, man. I've not seen somebody use that in a hot minute. Yeah. So boxed order was actually used pretty briefly there when like people were playing the Snorlax deck and like a lot of the stall decks. Ugh. Horrible times there. That's like that gives me like PTSD thinking about those decks. Because you know that's what happens. Is like real friends don't let friends play control decks. I will definitely say that. All right, so we're gonna draw here. Um, should have did that. I did that backwards. Okay. Hmm. If I didn't have all of this, like this would be such a pretty good play, but no, I misplayed. I should have super rotted before I did the Ultra Ball. That way I could have got the Curlia back. But we're kind of cruising right now. So I don't really need it all that much. I think what I can do is I can go Embrace. Embrace. I'll smack that. There's no real point in putting like a charm on anything right now because I'm not really trying to knock anything out. Alright, there's the Curlia. Alright. Really not much they can do here. Maybe they get a stadium, they get that down. Oh, Raging Bolt. Okay. Interesting. Hmm. That is a very interesting take on, and I guess maybe you play Crispin with this? I guess that's what you would do. I guess you would play Crispin with this. And then, you would do that. If anything, this really just feels like a pity win. The algorithm, like, felt bad for us. So there's the knockout. I'll get my energy back. And then all I've got to do is just... And all I've got to do is just this. Just bring up the EX. I don't even have to get crazy with it. I just do this. Retreat. I don't even need a fez or anything like that. Like if there's anything like I could encourage you to do is like far as the players, like don't slow roll. Don't slow roll. Like just get it over with. Because I imagine you're let's think of it like this. Your opponent's probably heated that they didn't win, and you dragging it out like that is just it's just being a sore winner. Like this right here. I'd rather go ahead, take the knockout, send them on their way so they can play another game instead of drawing everything out. So, all right, so there you go, Ringy, Ringley, whatever your username is. I didn't lose your things, and we finally got a win on the board. Finally got a win on the board. It took me playing a binder drop deck to do it, but you know what? A win's a win. ELO is terrible because I sit here and play games at work when I don't have time, when I have like downtime, which people think is crazy as a teacher. Like, oh, you have downtime? This time of year, I have a lot of downtime. So I'll do that, and then it's like I'll get called away to do something, and I'm in the middle of like a ranked game. So no, I keep people. I like to keep people's real names anonymous on here. It's the internet. People are mean on the internet, and people are notorious. So I know who you are. Just I like to keep people anonymous. But yeah. All right, so new poll. Will I go on a two-game winning streak? Let's find out. Oh wow, finally want a coin flip. Do I want to go first? No, I don't want to go first. All right. And oh, playing against Mega Bombs. So okay, this will be fun. This will be really fun. Alright, take the mulligan. Okay, this is actually working out pretty good for us. I should have got Ultra Ball there. Oh well. Okay, good. Definitely made sure that I clicked on both of those. Sometimes like if you're not careful, like live will register like you only clicked one. No, I appreciate just leaving it on while you still do stuff, yeah. Alright. Artisan, Kyogre. There's another Snorunt. Surfing Beach, gonna give him free retreat. Alright, cool. There goes all of his EXs. Alright. Secret Ash. Alright, that's a good touch. This opponent takes 30 less damage from attacks. Alright, that's cool. Alright, so you basically have to do 400 damage. No big deal. Which damage did it take less? No, it doesn't take that. Takes 30 less, okay. Alright, so basically I just kind of have to like smack this guy. Not what I wanted, but okay. I'll eventually get enough energy in the discard pile to do something. But hey, Eric, appreciate you dropping in tonight, man. How was that Trivium show, by the way? I get the Drifloon back after the fact. Alright. I'm definitely not doing that. Let me see how much I got here. 2, 4. Not what I wanted, but you know what? It'll work. Obviously, want to make sure I get rid of that. Yeah. No, Trivium's great. I've never seen them live, but I've always been a big fan of their music. Just glad you were able to go. I was actually there, same venue, Friday night for Silverstein and the Thursday show. That was pretty cool. Enjoyed that a lot. All right, so now we just got to go and put them in a position where they're stuck, and as long as they don't get their stadium, we're good. Why does the R&D always come to bite me in the butt? Ugh. The Garden was prized. Alright, let's see what they do here. This is also noting that my third monkey is prized, by the way. Nice. That's definitely a good move in the right direction. Giant cape? This is insane. Oh my god. Okay. What a way to go. What a way to go. This is so hilarious. Tonight has definitely been quite the night of just nonsense. Alright. Bring that up. Do that. It's at 100. Yeah, that is rough. Yeah, I did not win that. That was rough. I have. Don't care for it. Don't really care for it just because it's like I'd rather just be able to have the raw numbers of just being able to like knock stuff out, but mostly with that game is I didn't get enough I didn't get enough psychic energy in the discard pile to be able to really do anything, and they just came out swinging, and every time they always had an out. Like that's what that game was. Like there's no amount of Guardy or anything like that could have happened. I mean, sure, I could have put the big cape on it, but sticks and stones. No. No. And I mean, yeah, they do, but realistically, like, you would think that it would lose to a Jelly Guardy, but I've seen it where it's been the other way around of like where the Turbo has actually been able to beat the Jelly Guardy more than once. And Guldango, a smart Guldango player is always going to be able to beat like an average Jelly Guardy player. Um, and that's the thing, and that's the thing too, is like, we can make statements like that, but the majority of the time, I'll put it, all right, so I'll put it like this. I'll put it in my words. I'm not banking on the masses. Like, the way that I'm thinking of it is like this. I'm thinking of it in the matter of like the average player or the random person who just copies and pastes the general take of whatever their favorite YouTuber is. Like, I'm not worried about them. Like, I'm not going to worry about them. Like, I'm going to beat them. For me, it's the more of like the people that I'm going to see in Top Cut. And the thing about it is that a lot of the times on the way is that you're going to have these people that have opinions that don't do the work, they don't do the math, and they don't test it. And I know for a fact of like that, well, yeah, with the average everyday Joe Schmo, yeah, that may happen, but I know a lot of times like it's not going to happen that way more often than not. Because the thing about it is, and the thing with these Gardevoir decks is they do dead draw terribly. Well, that is also at the same time too. Is that like online data or is that in-person data? Hmm. What source? No, yeah, that's the thing. Like, I take online data with a grain of salt. Day two Vegas specifically. Hmm. No, that's crazy though. Like, nah, it's a online. So it's like, yeah, no, like that's crazy. And the thing with it too is like a lot of times of like with online, that's weird. You get hit the same Diplin player, yeah. Now online's a different beast. But no, I'll go back and I'll look at that Vegas stuff. I think a lot of like what I'm doing here is I'm going into a meta this Saturday that's not very meta. Like it's a lot of people that play whatever they want to play, whether it's tier one, tier two, tier three. Like, no, it's a lot of unorthodox decks. So, the name of the game for this weekend is mostly like looking at things that I know that can beat meta decks, but at the same time, too, have a good spread into like the jank. And that's kind of the bigger problem with it. So, yeah. Yeah, and that's usually a lot of like what it is. It's like, there are people that play Pult. There's people that play, yeah, everything like you just mentioned, like, yeah, that's all stuff that I would see. But would I say that like Gardevoir is like my first pick for the weekend? No, like it's not. Um, I like this deck better in a best of 3 than I would like in a best of 1. I think really what my like deck choice is going to be like, I'm just going to wake up on Saturday morning, like whatever I decide is whatever I decide that morning. I think Zoroark's good. Zoroark's good like if you've put the time into it. Yeah, like, and I got it right there. I've got it. Yeah. Goldie rocks. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, no. Like, I've only ever, like, my extent of, like, playing Zoroark is just mostly, like, testing purposes. Like, I've got it built, and I keep it around, but it's just, like, I just haven't played it. And then the other thing about it, too, that I just, another thing about it that, like, I don't want to play it is, like, going back into the whole jank conversation. Like I know for a fact there's going to be at least like 3 like grass dot decks there. So and you're like, "Oh yeah, you know, you could put in the Darmanitan." And you're right, I could, but like Darmanitan's only going to get me so far. But yeah, no. Goldie rocks. Nah. I'd want to yeah, I just was like my only thing about playing Goldango is like I don't want to play the mirror. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's like I was saying earlier, like it's the meta on Saturday is going to be wild, wild west, so it's going to be everywhere and all over the place. Do you know? Take the 2 prizes. Take the first 2 prizes. It's gross. It's gross. You keep the board single prizer. You keep single prizer boards to like as long as you possibly can, and then you just drop it down that way. Yeah, yeah. You just basically like you just go that way. It's a matter of prize manipulation. Like I said, like I personally just think it's gross. All right, yeah, let's play a game. No, they really don't. And that's kind of like what I was saying, where like the average the average person, like I'm not worried too much about them. Like, no. My like I'm expecting to play deep and to play far into cut on this weekend and like the cups that I'm going to, and it's like those are the things that like I think about and those are the things that I consider what am I even doing? This is fine. But no, a lot of people won't do that. They won't see it. Well, I know they're going to. We know that they're going to. Is Ditto here? Ew, that's gross. Ditto is not here. Oh, Ditto is there. Alright, I'll do this. Alright, dude, beat me that way. How did I know they were going to do that? That's okay, I didn't want those cards anyways. Psh. Nice. Okay. Okay, we'll take 2 on there. Alright, there's the first one we want to get rid of. It's a pretty gross hand. That Dusclops has got... That Dusclops definitely like going after Hoot Hoot. Oh, okay. Noctowl. Okay. Alright, so the last thing I don't want to do is I don't want to, I definitely don't want to play that right now. The one thing I don't want to do is I don't want to Iron Bundle, because I feel like if I do Hyper Blow, he's just going to bring this up. Oh, that's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I think the only thing I could have done better then is to do that. There we go. Yeah, I could have done that. I was too far ahead though, that like I could have done that. Yeah, I've learned that many a times. Definitely have learned that many a times. And I'm just gonna do it. Okay. on. Cool. Alright, so this is going to be interesting. $300. Okay. Alright, I gotta start taking knockouts every turn. Alright. Honestly, like, I'm okay with that. Need to see cards. That hurts. That hurts. Okay. That hurts a lot. I ain't gonna. Yeah, no. There's nothing there with that I could have done. Rough night. Rough night. Rough night. Rough night. Cool. Alright, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. Appreciate you watching. Going to be posting locals up tomorrow night on stream. Try to see if we can get the Leech Cup streamed this Saturday, too. So, stay close to the socials. And, yeah, we'll go from there.